This is JUKEBOXX TV. I'm Baxter, and it's another episode of JUKEBOXX TV. We're here with entrepreneur, philanthropist, farmer, mogul, tycoon. I don't even know if you want to define yourself in ways.
This is humanitarian, man. This is humanitarian work now, man.
Yeah.
It's about vibrating with life, man. I want to be where the birds chirping at in the morning, man. Just waking the people up for prayer, man. That's where I want to be.
So who are you, though? Why are you you?
I mean, I'm me because I guess when you go through life experiences, this is the ending result of trusting in your higher power to lead the way. And this is what he made me into. So this is what I'm here to do. It's just to help my way and contribute my whatever me and my family got towards the betterment of people. And using us as a catalyst.
So, his name Terry Stark. I didn't mention that, but so can you tell people your story, like your background, and what is it that you do?
Okay. Well, my background, I coming from the streets. I retired from the streets in 2006 successfully. I was a gunshot victim. I was trusting the church. I was shot 5 times in the chest. I woke up 19 days later and ended up creating a community center, a community service center that helps the community jumpstart into small business. And this is the 14th year of this business. And as we grow, we learn to get out of our own way. And once we got out of our own way, we just vibrating with life and just trying to help as many people as possible in the world.
So why is it that you care about the people? Not in a negative way, but what is it for you to care? Like why you? Why you can be willy nilly and go out like everybody else and drive by, not take action. Why are you taking action?
I mean, when I grew up, I come from an era where the community cared. Like, so that part of the community is missing now. So, we just trying to hold on to the golden era of what it was like. And for the record, this is the last generation that knows what it's like to live without social media. And so we coming into a part of our history where we're no longer going to be the threshold. It's the younger generation. So why I care about the future of humanity, because right now it's saying that in the Bible it says that the child shall lead, because the adults have become too observant and not taking anything from the adult, but the adult is egotistic. He's not going to listen to nobody. He's going to react, or she's going to react in a way that her emotions lead them. And right now, our children are the inheritors of the future, but yet we killing each other. So I feel as though we use our resources as a place where you can heal that. It takes time. You got to walk a journey, but you got to be willing to walk that journey, because it's people that's vibrating with life that's the best catalyst for this effort. So I believe God brought me back to life just to save as many people as He want. And as long as I'm saving, I'm still breathing. I get to enjoy my family, So that's the stuff that I'm about, And it's just a long walk with your reality of, your life is about a purpose. What are your purpose? And my purpose is to lead, and I've been leading for a long time now, and I just learned to get out of my own way. Because a lot of times my emotions and feelings that get involved in something that I think I'm strongly on that an uneducated person wouldn't know. So it tends to look like I'm radical when it comes to that. So I learned to get out my own way and just try to help as many people as possible that way.
What's your motivation? And also, what is your biggest fears?
My motivation right now is to lead entrepreneurs into an ecosystem that will save the world. And my motivation is the fact that learning from different schools and techniques of business, like I'm on value tech. There's a lot of different things that I study, but more I think that the poor communities need to understand what accounting is and how to keep the books on the finances. And I think that that's not being taught to us because it's designed for us to be impoverished. So if that's the stronghold that'll break our mentality of thinking, I think that if I keep chiming and chipping at that, it will open up a whirlwind of entrepreneurs across the city. So, and in the city they don't highlight the entrepreneurs like, but we highlight them here. So we want to make sure that they always got a place that they can come, just like a car shop, to get tuned up. Whatever level you at in your business, you got to not be afraid to talk about where you at, and talk about the habits that you have that's preventing you from getting where you got to go. So that's my motivation on just helping somebody out of their financial woes and understanding that they come across a team that's going to be more about growing the economy instead of taking from the economy.
And what's your biggest fears?
My biggest fear is that our people will die off without even trying to learn something new, because we've been prone to violence. We've been prone to deep levels of stress. We've been prone to seeing our people die in front of us. So my biggest fear is people not grasping the opportunities to save their finances now by learning trading and group economics, and not trading their wealth tomorrow for a loan today, a quick fix that I call it, that's going to lead to a bigger problem later. So if we do it self-sustained now, we won't trade off our wealth for the future, our future monies for today's instant gratification, I call it. So it's more about long haul, and you can't trade your finances from the future. You don't know what the future entails. So why would I gamble myself into something when I can just keep creating and creating and creating and networking and delegating and building subcommittees and building advisory boards to run different things that'll keep all of us occupied. So that's my biggest fear, is that part of the process don't come. And if you're a godly person, you know that God says, "My cup shall runneth over." So He already built the cup. He already built the system. Now it's time for the people to pour into the finances part of it. So that's the hard part. That's my friend. He just came home from 23 years, man. I want him to come in. Hopefully he can get right here. You can learn a lot from him. My friend, he just came home. And you can learn a lot from him, man. So I just wanted to call him down. So, he get to talk, man. He hide his face, but that's my childhood sling.
Yeah. What's what goes into the planning process, and how do y'all come up with ideas? What outlets do y'all have to orchestrate these ideas?
I mean, it takes careful planning. I think that me personally, my day don't work unless I plan. I'm up 4:30 in the morning, and I'm planning, and I'm thinking about the weight of the world, and I'm thinking about, while people are just going to sleep, entrepreneurs trying to create ways to sustain us. So if a person is sustained, then he's less prone to violence, and he's less prone to the neglect of the world, because the world will neglect you, but it's not really the world, it's really you. It's really, and when I tell people that we got to get out of our own way, that's a major statement, and people don't realize that, because you can easily go to war on the internet now by saying the wrong thing about somebody, and people take it the wrong way, and it'll lead to casualties. So I believe that just as well as negativity is going out on the internet, it has to be some positive vibrations going through the internet that can really help, So he was asking me what's my biggest fear. What's your biggest fear coming home from doing 20, how many years?
23. My biggest fear is getting caught up in recidivism, meaning going back to prison, and all the nonsense and confusion going out here, because you gotta think about it, I was in jail 2 decades. So much change and evolved over 2 decades. When I come out, like, everything weird, and I don't fit in that. So basically I gotta find my way. But at the same time, it's nonsense all around me. Young people don't respect the old timers. It's a bunch of chaos. So my biggest fear is falling victim, allowing the streets to pull me back in, and me ending back up in prison.
And what's your motivation though?
My motivation is my freedom. Like, the spot I came home during COVID, so it was less opportunities, and it's not really much. But I found a way. Like, I'm optimistic, I'm motivated, I'm determined. I don't see me going that fear. I override it. Instead of being pessimistic, I'm optimistic, and I know that anything the brain can conceive, I can achieve. I'm like he was saying earlier, I'm my own worst enemy. And I control this. Whatever I decide, whether I win or lose, it's all starting in mind. You can have the power and ability to do something. If you don't believe it in your mind, you're not going to do it. If you can say you can, you probably have the ability to can, but if you think you can't, you're not. So I realized that, and I know my mind, once I keep this positive thoughts and stay directed and create I call it a network. Your network is your network. Keep people like him in my circle and out of that people that's going to help me going where I'm going. Because if I'm hanging around 4 broke people, I'm liable to be the 5th. Yeah. So I understand all that, and I'm focused, and I'm planning, but I'm planning more for the change because the things are changing and it's not the same. So I'm optimistic. I'm basically, you can call me, I don't want to say I'm a psych, but I know I'm going to be successful. I'm determined. I can't lose.
What's your definition of success?
Being content. I got different levels. So like, for instance, I was a juvenile delinquent. I played in the streets. And one of my definitions of success is giving back. Even whether it's one juvenile, one person I can talk to and stop them and give them my wisdom, my understanding, what I went through, so they don't have to go to it. That's a form of success. Be able to be there for my family, be able to have my freedom, being comfortable. I don't gotta be a millionaire to have success. It's just all feeling comfortable in my skin and the fruit I'm producing and what my actions is gonna speak. That's success to me. I can live with that.
That's what's up. Alright, so if y'all had 24 hours in a day to just sit there and understand why your life has become what it is today, where would you start?
I mean, me personally, I would start on them rainy days when growing up and it was cold out, and I can remember seeing my mother cry. You know, I can remember, just being hard on life. I could start back right there when I could have made a decision to stay in school, or I could have made the decision of going on a corner. And back then, it was protocol. You couldn't just go to the corner and make money. You had to start out from the bottom. You had to start out from going to the store for people. And then it led to them telling you, yo, you can go watch out for me for a little bit. But them was year processes that you had to go through before it was this instant success that they painting on the internet right now. And now I can go back to that phase and teach it in my business practices, where when it's stages instead of levels. It's stages of your mentality of thinking that you have to go through, and a lot of the times you're gonna be stressed out because the world will beat down on you if you allow it to. But you got to get to a comfortable place where you know that I'm in control. And once you're in control of that, that's when the change comes. And I believe that every level of change that's coming is going to be some kind of setback that's going to make you fall flat on your face for you to move forward ahead. And you can't look at the falling flat on your face. You got to look at the lessons that came out of it. and that's what makes you sharpen the sword. So that's where I'll take it back to when I see my mother cry, and I had to make a decision. And then when I made that decision, I went through hell to get my kids to yell. You understand what I'm saying? So now we dealing in a system where everything is instant. They want you to go get it now. And my thing is, you can't give people too much information at one time. What that does is it'll destroy. First of all, the first thing it's going to destroy is the finances. When it destroys the finances, then it becomes mental. And after it becomes mental, next thing you know, you either 302, you either strung out on drugs, you either a murderer, you either a robber, any type of vice that you can fall back on and go into a comfort with, that's who you're going to be. So me personally, I chose the streets, but I chose entrepreneurship. It wasn't the streets that I chose. It was freedom from having to ask my neighbor for sugar. I would rather go down the block and ask one of the neighbors, do they need me to walk to the store? Or walk on the avenue for some of the elderly people to make the money, instead of knocking on that neighbor's door, becoming a burden to her, instead of me understanding that I'm the man of the house now. And it doesn't matter if I'm 13 years old. I have to do something to save my family. So, like I said, I take it back to then. And if we can stay in that phase, we know that back in the day, them phases was years, not weeks. What they presenting on the TV now is you got people pulling wax of money out to poor people. First of all, that's bank money. It's on a card. You have to be a certain type of creature to pull that money out of the bank to flash it to uneducated people. You have to, that takes a certain amount of low self-esteem first and foremost, because if you're wealthy, wealth is quiet. Rich is in the mentality of whatever phase you on. It's people that say they rich because they got a peace of mind. That's rich. It's people that's wealthy that just choose to use their money to help other people. That's wealth. Me personally, this big I and little you is a mentality that was put together by low self-esteem, afraid of somebody taking your spot, and understanding that it's millions of people that's suffering because of the lack of communication from a slim few that can change the whole demographics of this stuff. So, like I said, when you talk about experience and you talk about keen street strength, it's going to come from people who had to go through the whole process, whether you went to jail or not, whether you came through the streets or not. It was a system, and you couldn't go down the next corner of the block. Somebody down there will beat your ass to your mom's house. And it was always an older lady that said, not right here. We don't have them people no more. So what you having is a world of people on a social network channeling feelings and watching each other too long, and time is running out. So if you pump in group economics, hey, everybody, let's come up with a way to do a strategy where we can get $100 a week going from every household, while creating businesses for that household to take on a responsibility of the bills, the upkeep of the house, the growth of the company, And if you can find a way to put $100 a week up in your business to the side, because I believe that that's the 10% mark that you need for investments, for your business to grow, for your family to grow, for your life to grow. You don't have to wait around for some opportunity that's not. And I see posters that say, is 60 minutes worth $20? And that 60 minutes, you don't know what you can make. I just sold 2 jars of sea moss for $50, and it took me 5 minutes to do it. So if I utilize my head and I market what I'm selling with the time that I'm wasting on here, then I can probably accumulate an income for me and my family. So if every block had the same system, which we teaching, we want to go, it's called Not My Block campaign, where we go to every household, we create a business for each house. The $50 startup each house. I'm going to do the technical stuff that's going to get you legitimized to start. And it's 72 houses on the block. If everybody put $10 a week up, it's $720. That can go to somebody making the juice. Everybody on the block, when you thirsty, go right here to get the juice. Everybody, this house is doing the breakfast. Everybody goes to this house to get the breakfast. I guarantee you, I can make that block turn into $1 million block just by thinking within, protecting each other. 8 camera systems, so you don't have to worry about while you at work, your son got girls running in and out, got the shooter with the back door open running in your house. We have to go block by block because it done got too dangerous to call a whole community in a meeting because one person might have killed this other person. So now the meeting is going to be unproductive because of the issues. So if we go block by block, if we save one block, then the other blocks catch on, and before you know it, the streets will become quieter again. Philadelphia was always a trendsetter city. The problem is we became in a dark place. And how do we get out of that? What you think?
You get out of this dark place? Now you gave one solution with the block. But that's deep.
You gotta think. And it's more about, the more we think, the more we see that we're in our own way. Our emotions dictate whether we're going to be happy or whether we're going to be sad. It's nothing really pumping positive right now. The radio used to blurt out the cuss words. It used to be a quiet storm. It used to be times where at 7 o'clock in the community, they had oldies on. That was letting you know that husband and wives or boyfriend and girlfriend was sitting on the step. Social media took the connection away from the community. So now you forced to see other people's happiness through phones or through different channels or stuff like that. But what will make you happy is the ending result of the next person getting killed in the community. Because if each household is focused on each household and the company that they producing in that household, and the whole block is the contributors, they even can do a block trip every month. That's going to generate, I just want to create multiple streams of income for a block. And then we take it to the next block. But by the time we get out of that one block, man, listen.
It's like the barter system, but
And you know about the barter system. So can you explain to them what the barter system is? Because that's the problem. Knowledge precedes speech and action. A lot of us is just shooting. we shooting from the hip. We see 3-4 different people now. Here we come. But explain to them about the barter system, because I believe that this is our freedom, and it don't require nothing. It requires the barter system. So can you tell them just a little bit about it? And I think that that'll be a more specific detail and what we all trying to accomplish together as a whole.
So the barter system, well, back in like the day, a long time ago and stuff, what they used to call money was really cattle and like goods and stuff. So the barter system was basically a skill of how we trade. Well, how they say someone's trash is someone else's treasure. So it's basically trading something of value for someone else's value. It can be anything. It can be a skill. It can be a hard asset, meaning like clothing, shelter. It can be maybe you do graphics. Maybe someone make clothes. You can sell your clothes for someone for the graphic, and that's how y'all can trade skill. Or someone may do plumbing, and someone else does. Someone else is good with electrical work. So the electrician can ask the plumber, yo, can you do this on this house, and I'll do the plumbing on another place. You know, something you have a business, and that's how y'all can trade skills to keep business circulating. So it's like a cash flow, but really a skill flow.
Yeah, networking. Our motto is we network so we don't sweat work. So it's exchanging goods. And a lot of people have acres of diamonds in their houses. We always got clothes. We always got, and if you see in other rural communities, white, Latino, Cambodian, they have these goods out in the community for the community to keep. You know, you might not can get a washer machine or a microwave from the mall, but if the flea market got it in the community, what you're doing is a barter system. It's exchanging goods for the better of the community. So in Philadelphia right now is 1.6 million people, right? It's 1.6 million people. It's 857,000 people living in poverty, deep poverty in the city, right? It's only 231,000 people that's actually seeing a little bit of success in the city of Philadelphia. And if you look at that 857,000 people, if they put $10 up, that's $8.7 million that they can contribute weekly.
That sound like, you ever seen the movie Slam?
Yeah.
When the guard be talking about he be talking about the demographics of how blacks are in prison and stuff like that, and he just break it down by number and stuff like that. So it's like what you saying, a numbers game. We taught to do one thing, but it can be the polar opposite, to where we can train ourselves to utilize each other and build wealth.
Exactly, and that's where we've fallen short at. Nobody is teaching us about taxes. Nobody's teaching us about paying bills. Nobody's teaching us about real estate, what you have in now, real estate. But in order to do real estate, you have to learn about the tax system. You got to learn what's coming in, what's going out, right? Then you got to learn about principal times penalty times interest. These three things going to follow you all through your life, and we're not educated on it, and we're just simple, and we want it fast, and we want it easy. So this is what's stopping a whole city from moving forward like Atlanta. I believe Philly going to be bigger than Atlanta, because once the 857,000 people realize that if I sacrifice a pair of Yeezys a month for my family to grow, and the residual income that comes off of that money is going to help my wife grow, help my children grow, help my grandmother grow, and then it's going to help my community grow, I believe that it wouldn't be one murder in the city no more, because it'll be more about healing. And in order to heal, you got to step away from whatever mentality or whatever system that you've been running on. And the minute that you change that algorithm, everything else is going to gravitate to you. So, definitely we appreciate you coming, and, any other questions you have, I'm here. But I believe that this walk is one show what will not be able to cover what we want to actually do, but it's a start. And to start a company is to free you of the economic burdens of destruction. And right now we're seeing viruses stopping businesses. And if you stop the post of the businesses, then you stopping the change from coming, because the government can't do this, can't fix this problem on their own.
And before you go, what's the FLIP program?
The FLIP program is Future Leaders in Progress. It's a 6-week training startup. We charge $100 for a membership to get you started. That $100 it comes with a hoodie to start. You'll be in green phase of the business. And what it does is it'll help you walk the crash course in business. You'll be creating your own products here. This is what you call a one-stop shop, where it's an incubator. This building serves as an incubator for a community. It's core community, and it's for the community. And every community should have this system. And it's for the community to galvanize. You might be arguing with your wife in the house, and you might need somewhere to go. It should always be a place in the community where learning is going on at, where you welcome to come and exchange, chime in. We looking for thought leaders. We looking for people who understand that group economics will save lives. And we have to understand that part. So that's the most important part. And like I said, this is ongoing. We want, for the record, we're going to continue this. This is going to be part 1 and part 2, all the way up until you see a platoon of people, which each class will consist of 45 people. Because our goal is to abstract. Instead of you working for 2 weeks for your job and getting your paycheck and losing, because your paycheck is just a tax write-off of the 45 people who hired you, who got hired with you. So imagine if we pinch ourselves, right, for 6 weeks. You're going to have so much residual income coming in that the 2 weeks that you work the job, you're looking at it now, your income done increased by thousands. I got rooms full of different products and hoodies here and print shops here and stuff like that. But all of this stuff is tangible income for teams of people to utilize to get their resources. So if my cup runneth over, it's running into your cup. Your cup runneth over, it's running into his cup. His cup runneth over, it's going into your cup. So now everything is flowing freely, and God promised us that. He said it already. So why is it taking so long? We in the fourth quarter right now in Philly as far as lives. 2020, we seen so many people die this year. Unexpected. So many kids. So many car accidents. It's so much confusion going on because nobody's taking time out to focus on themselves. We just run. And we have to take time out, get into secluded places, come to where we located 1554 West Oakdale Street, Philadelphia, PA. Call us 267-239-7821, 267-239-7821. However, 2021, my number is going to change. And it's only for members now. It's only for people who want to do something, because your time can be wasted by somebody who's just really just in an emotional state. They need somebody to talk to. They not listening to what you saying. They just probably happy that you stopped what you was doing to listen to them, and then nothing came after that. And that's one of my pet peeves, man. Like, if we can't grow together and be more entwined with each other, then I wasted my time. And time is of the essence right now, and we have to find like-minded people in order to kick off a lot of things that's going on as far as entrepreneurship. Because one company, and this is for the record, one EIN number is equal to 15 companies. So when we teaching you, we telling you, get quiet and get on math. Just think of a hustler able to hustle 15 different corners out of one product. Now you talking about you receiving principal times penalty times interest. Do you understand that you freed yourself from the economic burdens and woes of day-to-day life and living? Because you don't know what tomorrow's week gonna kick in for you. But an entrepreneur do. Especially if he got orders off that post he just got. How many people posting something that they selling? Or we in somebody else's business talking about somebody, they got talk shows about this shit. So just as well as positivity is coming down the block, just believe the negative is coming 2 times faster. And I believe that we living in right now, we living in a junior high phase. When we went to school and we were afraid that somebody might not accept us in the way that we are. So we tend to go with the masses is doing. And that's what's destroying us. The masses is not educated enough to understand, and everybody is focused on clothes to be heard, or this specific group to be heard, or this specific. And my thing is, that's great, but what are we really doing as a society when it comes down to 400? We were about to hit 470 murders in Philadelphia. Unheard of this year. And we dropped the ball on community a long time ago. And we all have to pick up the pieces. But I believe we're going to do it a block by block. Because if we can get a team full of 8 at a table, this is our mastermind group. So if that's going to start green phase of the program, right? Their job is to recruit 1 block. So now instead of us doing 1 block at a time, it's 8 blocks at a time. And everybody got their specific day of the week, which is Monday to Friday. So it's really 7, but I like to do 8 because of leap year. And I only do 8 because of leap year because it adds on a more responsibility of an income that might be needed for, which is called like an emergency fund. And that 8th person is in charge of the emergency fund. So 7 days out of the week, you'll be able to tackle 7 different blocks, and we spend a 4-hour time into the block a week, donation to the community. If everybody donated 4 hours a week to community, it wouldn't be no much death as it is. That 4 hours, we have to come together. We have to settle the old Miss Annie's issues with Miss Susie issues. We got to get in that garden. We got to plant some green vegetables because our food supply is being tampered with. You're not free until you own your food supply. And it's 188,000 abandoned houses in Philadelphia, lots and houses owned by dead people. Why are we not building our own sustained gardens where the whole community can go in there and get the cabbage, get the lettuce, get the fruit? It should be fruit trees outside of every block. Nobody should be homeless. I went downtown yesterday and seen It got a grave site on Walnut Street, 13th and Walnut. And I would love to go down there because nobody's talking about the homeless people that's dying on the streets from cold, being cold. And this stuff right here upsets me because this place will you won't have nowhere to go. You can sleep here. That's the type of love we have for our community. Just don't take everything from us when we wake up and get down. That's all we rather clean up, find a routine for you to get started with to start to heal. If you see a picture with all of the boxers, I always go to that picture because it's different styles of learning. Everybody has different styles. One style is no better than the other style. But if it all ends with a victory or a loss, then it don't matter if he was southpaw, it don't matter if he was right. His right jab was stronger. It's his style of boxing. So if everybody at the table got different styles to bring to the table, we got some flavor going on. So group economics is like the only thing that can help us right now. I done heard all the talks. I done been at 1 million meetings in the city. I done been around every community across the city, walking that casket, going through communities, trying to figure out who can we connect to. And now I learned to just sit back and let the people come to us instead of us keep going out, because you might be talking to somebody in somebody else's neighborhood, but 5 minutes later, a girl don't want to buy. You done forgot all about what y'all was talking about. But if they both got a place that they can come at and learn some business, qualified business, that's going to help you, because we're all partners into this multi-business. I want us to keep the supermarket syndrome. Inside Walmart is the name. Inside, when you go through them 2 doors, it's 57,000 businesses in there, right? And you might just be going in there to buy some Pampers and some milk, but don't you end up spending $80, $90 out of there? See, that's when you start creating an economic stock market. So these companies already made the money by putting their stuff on the shelf. So Walmart got paid from the dough. Now when you come in there versus the hour that you stayed in there, times how many people came in that hour, they can start to see residual income coming in with an economic stock market. That's why Walmart became a stock. See, we're creating our own supermarket. And you have your own products inside of there. You have your own products inside of there. Now, inside of the supermarket, when people come in, what they do is they get a variety of choices to buy, which is we building the shelving. So now, a team of people will be on the juice. A team of people will be on food. A team of people will be on health products. And what you do is you times it by 7 days a week. Times how many people coming in or how many communities coming in on that day. Just like the supermarket does. And what we created was a Philadelphia Renaissance project that's going to require the people, not the politician, not the president. The people have to put that. It's way more than enough money generating through the community to not see each household with everything that they need, man. And once we learn that, then we learn success. Because success is not me and my family having everything. Rather, success is taking your earnings and helping another family get on their feet. And we both get, it ain't no fun if it's just one team. They get tired of the Lakers winning the championship. They want to see the Pacers win. You know, we want to see the Nets win. And it's all about group economics and teamwork. And my thing is, that's what's going to be the ongoing process. And I believe that, you know, one day out the week, you can come and we can highlight some of the entrepreneurs and bring some people in here that started companies and see what their dilemmas is in their company now, or see if they even still going forward with the company. I believe that if we think about it as a supermarket terms, I believe that it'll be quiet in the community. Nobody will have to break in nobody else's cars. Nobody will have to carjack nobody. Nobody will have to ask nobody for $5 to get gas. Nobody had to ask, I'm short on a monthly rent. You have the money. When the money is in your hand, who you are is going to come out with that money until it's gone. Then you're going to be who you really are. And I believe that is mental. We have to be spending. We have to be spending, but we have to be earning too. We have to be creating. So the more we create, the more we'll be able to get some more stuff done. And you know, like I said, this is only episode 1 of the community talk, but I believe that together this will start a chain of dialogue. And feel free to share this, and feel free to chime in and chip in, because I can bring my 9-year-old daughter here right now, and she can give you a whole crash course on business, man. She can teach, because we die off, our children inherit the land. And if we're not preparing our children for tomorrow, not only will our generation die, but the future generations. And I believe that that's what they want. And I believe that God is protecting that. So, you know, it's bigger than us. I believe that we're just catalysts. We only traveling through earth, and we trying to vibrate with who we can vibrate with and see how we can put our monies in the pot. And let's come up with ways. The 8 people, the $100 membership, that means $900 go in the middle of the table for that economic group. And now 9 different minds, because I'm chiming in. So if I got 8 other people, that's $900 to start businesses with. First of all, I'm going to start the companies with. Think of the company that best describe you, right? Now, what we do is we turn the $900 into millions of dollars. Because what can we do right now to turn this 900 into 1,800? What can we buy right now that 8 of us or 9 of us can take a few pieces of that product together and go out in the community and sell it and come back next week? And I guarantee you that group, that mastermind group, will be running subdivisions and different investment groups off of just that one play. So if we go through the whole city and we creating these different infrastructures, communities gonna get, ain't nobody asking for nothing no more. Matter of fact, we are chipping into Kenya, going across where they really poor at. And we need to be walking through them areas with all of the clothes and stuff that we wasting, that another country can use. Them babies be way worse than what we doing. But we want to see them babies. We don't want nobody telling us to send it through. We want to go to there and let them know we is this group from Philadelphia, and we want to help you guys, and we don't want nothing from y'all. We just want to help y'all. And every month we take time out and we go somewhere else and we help another city. I got this guy, this young guy called me last night from jail. He's in Dallas fighting 3 homicides and 6 attempts. His family reached out to me. I posted them on my page. It's already up to 257,000 people already commenting and stuff on them, because they want to know why the news media went inside the jail and interviewed a young person who's not educated enough to know that he's fighting for his life. Why is y'all interviewing him and he don't have an attorney? This is the stuff that community should be outraged about. Because first of all, they want him so bad that they want to do an interview on him inside of a place. He's been in there for 3 years fighting. COVID's slowing it up, but they trying to roof this young guy. My thing is, if he's innocent or if he's guilty, let the courts decide. There's something in the way that they did that, and that just didn't rub me right, so I posted it. I didn't know it was going to go to 250,000 people, and that I'll be talking to actually him on the phone last night and teaching his family how to start a nonprofit and teaching his family how to raise money so they can help this guy and while he's in jail. Y'all out here, y'all got to create this company. Don't keep waiting around. Days is running out. So, like I said, you're going to always hear me talk about business, and you're going to always hear me talk about group economics. We talking about the barter system. We talking about how do we lend and loan different things. What do you got that you ain't using, and what do I got that I ain't using that you probably need, or that I probably need that can help me in my field or expertise? That's life. So that's where we want to go at. So this is week 1, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Got my man here, a childhood friend, man. You know, we come from the gutter, so it's like to see him home, it's a walk into the success and walk into these rooms knowing who you are as a person, not who they think you are. It ain't in them that they can think whatever they want to think. You don't know me. You ain't come through where I came through. So how you gonna judge me? You really ain't been through what I've been through. So I know that people are afraid to ask for help. And while they being afraid to ask for help, they dying inside, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So we have to try to ask, yo, you need help? What's going on? But then you got to worry about the enabling part. Because if they really need help, they'll tell you, this is what I got going on. This is what I got, my dilemma is. This is where I'm trying to go to. Now, if you're just saying, give me a few dollars, you're just really just trying to angle on me. You know what I mean? And I ain't really with that this year. So I'm really just want to deal with community people that really want to focus on. I got all the cleaning supplies. I got all the brooms, and we want to go clean, or you know, we can chip in and feed people. But I prefer, if we do that, I want everybody to leave their phones in here, you know, because we don't want to take no phones and film it. Let's go help people wholeheartedly. Let's do things wholeheartedly, and I believe that you'll start feeling a lot better, and a lot of people will be coming around because they know that this is a place that ain't gonna judge them. So that's where I'm at with it. And the more that we get to that part of life, you know, because I can go on, bro. We'll be talking for years. You know, my thing is, y'all in Lower North Central, CDC. This is a community development corporation that's focused on turning people and learning people to learn how to flip resources, future leaders in progress. You have to take your proper steps to get to where you're going and learn from people who've been through what you've been through. I lost 11 houses in Philadelphia before I even knew about business. Nobody told me I could file bankruptcy and keep my 11 houses. Knowledge precedes speech and action. You can look on BRT on certain addresses and see my name in the system since the 90s. I was buying houses in the 90s and didn't even have a business. So I'm learned my lessons, and I'd rather teach you. I don't want nothing from you. I just saying how we can while we teach you, we might as well put a few dollars together and see what else we can get out of this pot. And before you know it, people will be seeing residual income instead of working from paycheck to paycheck. You can hire the employees and get the $43,500 tax credit by creating your company. That's a tax break that you get. Don't tell you that. So how do we get it and help our people get it? And that's where we at with it, man. Take myself in, man. I came down for a minute. I'm about to out. You walking with Terry Starks, my man Willie BRAXTON over there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's definitely good to see y'all, man. Y'all, you can turn my camera off, y'all. Thank you. You got all of it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Listen, they gonna be into this.